Right, everybody, this is something I found the other day. It's an analysis of the UK emissions in 2023, and they fell to the lowest level since 1879. So the UK is the smallest contributor in the world, less than 1%, and Wales is pretty much carbon neutral already because there's only 3 million people, maybe 3,200,000 people living in Wales. So we're already carbon neutral. But anyway, let's go through this quietly. I'm only putting it up there so you can, remember, you can stop at any time throughout this and read it because I'll go down through the whole thing. So I won't talk about it all. Now, as you know, I'm the Hillybilly Halfwit. Please subscribe to my channel, comment and like and share because it gets this information out there so people don't be brainwashed into thinking we're doing wrong stuff and we're not. All this stuff is documented. We are not the problem. Farming is not the problem. People are not the problem living their lives. The poor are not the problem. So please subscribe and share. Now, so let's go on with this. I'll only go through the highlights of this, but you can stop at any time by clicking the screen and you can read it all. The UK's greenhouse gas emissions fell by 5.7% in 2023 to the lowest level since 1879. So that was before the Industrial Revolution. So we are not a problem. Get this into your heads, everybody, according to the new Carbon Brief analysis. The last time UK emissions were this low, Queen Victoria was on the throne. Benjamin Disraeli was Prime Minister. Mosley Street in Newcastle became the first road in the world with electric lighting, and 59 people died in the Tay Bridge disaster in Dundee. We are lower than then. There was hardly any cars about. The UK is not in a disaster. We're not at a crisis. This is a controlled way of getting more tax off you. Carbon Brief's analysis based on preliminary government data shows emissions just fell to 38 million tonnes of carbon dioxide in 2023. This is the first time they have dropped below 400 since Victorian times. So there we are. You read this yourself. I'm not lying. This is all true. 53% below 1990 levels, while GDP, gross domestic product, has grown by 82%. We are not the problem. This is a con. The drop in emissions in 23 was largely due to an 11% fall in gas demand. This was due to higher electricity imports after the French nuclear fleet recovered above average temperatures and weak underlying demand driven by high prices. Now, coal use fell by 23%. Gas demand would have fallen even faster. What is happening here is we're greenwashing the UK. We're saying we're okay, and then we're pushing all the stuff we're using from another country. Like America is where we're burning the chip pieces for the Drax power station. We're getting our electric from France. Lowest since 1879, but they still want us lower. Look at our emissions here, look. UK emissions fell 5.7% in 2023 to the lowest since 1879. UK is not the problem. Other countries are the problem. Pakistan and India produce more CO2 and carbon than the UK in half a year than the UK has throughout its whole industrial revolution till now. So that puts it in perspective there. China increased its capacity this year more than the UK has done throughout all of its time producing CO2 and carbon since the Industrial Revolution. So like I said, I'm not going to do this all. You can read through this yourself. Increased electricity imports, warmer weather and lower gas demand contributed to fall in emissions. Sorry, rubber lips today. They're buying in gas from abroad and then making us all look well. That's what's happening. That's why they want to destroy farming in the UK, especially Wales, and then pretend we're whiter than white and buy it all in from other places. Coal, 14% drop in coal emissions. This is losing jobs. This is losing jobs to people. The left in this country want to deindustrialise our country. And can you imagine that you've got a Welsh Labour Party and a Welsh a Labour Party as a whole who came from mining, unions, now against mining, now against steel working. These people are insane. And they're not the only ones. The whole of the establishment is in it. They all signed up to this because the Climate Change Committee has got all parties on it and they're deciding it. And then they go off to see their masters. Transport remained the UK's highest emitting sector in 23, while power likely dropped to the 5th largest. See, when you look at all this, you realise it's nonsense. Look at agriculture. It's right at the bottom. That bottom line is agriculture. We're not doing anything. No change. Actually gone down. Transport was 10% below 1990 levels. We get a load of nutcases in charge of the UK, I'm afraid. Especially in Wales. UK greenhouse gas emissions have fallen 53% since 1990. While the country's economy has grown 82%. Look at that. We are not the problem. This is where they want us to go. That line there. From halfway down. They're going to destroy the working person in the UK to make themselves look good. We're not doing anything to the world now, but they want to destroy the working class. And farming. They want to remove our jobs. Deindustrialise it all. The Welsh Government has said it all. They want to deindustrialise it. The UK is the same. Nutcases, a lot of them. Absolute nutcases. Here's the greenhouse gas emissions here, look. How they've dropped. When you see this stuff, you realise you're just being lied to. I've realised it for years. So that's it. Go back up through this yourself and read it all yourself and see what you think yourself. Because there's the reality of it there. UK hasn't done nothing. We haven't done nothing wrong. We're being blamed for stuff we haven't done. And we've got a load of academics in a climate doomsday cult. And I'm afraid they're after all of us working class. Please subscribe. All the best.